Hi, tell me when.
It's ready. Thou art
Okay.
live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the G Podcast. We're celebrating our second anniversary this month. It's been a whole 2 years since we started talking about Gmod. So we're going to open up with a couple of news headlines. So we've got two collabs on the run right now. We've got Lol Scorpion with his worldwide collab, where he's looking for people to create videos about countries, real or fake. And also, Damashi DX has launched a sequel to the talent show collab. The first one was quite a hit, and it seems he's back with some more talent show antics. In other headlines, the Face Punch forums have closed, which has been a source of a lot of add-ons and useful things for Gary's mod. Fortunately, we've lost it, but I'm sure a lot of the things will pop up elsewhere. We've also seen a lot of Gmods uploaded in the last couple of months from cool old school Gmodders like a Night and Soul and Kugawatten. We also saw a new Gmod from El Toro. Now, I'd like to welcome you to our guests. We have with us Mr. The Shadow on. Say hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
We also have Ginger Ninja.
Hello.
And we have Tic Tac Frog.
Hello there.
So first, I'm going to talk to Mr. Shadow on. How are you doing?
My leg is killing me, but I'm good.
That's good overall, I guess. So, you've only released a video there, right? Recently.
Yeah, I've released quite a few, but the one I started a year ago, yeah, that finally got released. Finally.
Yeah, you've released a new Gary's mod called The Robot. And it's quite a big video.
Yeah,
but,
it's actually my first long video that I actually released. The funny thing is, I'm only known for like making 30-second animations.
I know the feeling. I'm kind of the same. But how does it feel to have like a big video out?
First up, let me just tell you, it was the most excruciating experience of my life, but I am so glad that I actually got this damn thing out.
So worth it in the end for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and this is a pretty ambitious video. It's kind of got like a slice of life style to it. There's like a pretty casual kind of story.
Yeah, it actually, I wanted to do something with my character Jackson Hunter. I actually wanted to more or less make him seem normal, even though him being a freelance mercenary. I did want to at least give him some sort of semblance of humanity. So just make him at least semi-normal and not like an edgy fucklord.
Well, yeah, but the scope of this video is pretty large. You've gotten some voice actors in here. Who have you got?
I got. Hold on a sec. I gotta go to my. I got the lovely voices of Diddley, who voices Gina Hunter, my character's daughter. I got Eric, who is the voice of the robot Sparky. Eric's really funny. We also got Diema. Oh shit! That was Diddley. Sorry. We have quite a few of them. We got Jalen Gray, who is the voice of one of the robbers, and we also got the voice actor Electric Star of the Pyromancers, who also voiced one of the robbers. And then we got Quinji, who voiced a scientist that I want to actually bring back during my series.
That's actually quite a lot. I didn't realize you had that many.
I was able to get all these voice actors using a site called Casting Call Club, and what I did was I gave them an audition for characters, and a lot of people actually wanted to voice a lot of them.
Do you? Are they looking for payment, or do they just like doing this?
Oh no! You can have either payment or non-payment projects.
Oh, okay.
So I did like a non-payment project, and I was surprised that a lot of people actually wanted to do this.
It's interesting now.
Very.
But, you've got that like edge over like obviously the main thing in Gmod is you sentence splice people, which like it's funny and it usually works, but you have to like kind of work at like getting that to say what you want to say. Whereas if you can get a voice actor, then you can quite literally get them to say anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So,
I did forget. I got Grindor and Sanguine to also voice in the video.
oh yeah, our fellow
Sanguine was
Gmodders.
actually the voice. If you were seeing earlier with Gina drawing, he was actually the voice actor of the TV commercial for Cluckenbell. And Grindor during the opening shot was actually the Metro cop that was chasing the guy.
Yeah, Sanguine's the Gmod that's known for a lot of different voices,
And
but he's quite a talented guy as well.
and Grindor is known for his fighting animations. A lot of his fighting animations, including Major Malfunction.
Yeah. I want to ask you, was there anything that was really tough about this video? Because like, it's a big thing.
Oh, okay. So the main problems I did have with this video was the recordings of basically like they show the tank moving or Jackson walking out of the elevator earlier. It was like a transition from using Gary's mod recordings to using Fraps. But Fraps was kind of difficult to cooperate with due to it being, a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Obviously, you had a couple of odd jump cuts. Obviously, like some bits had to be left out just because they couldn't be done.
Yeah, I think my most disappointing one was the one with the tank.
Yeah, but perhaps that's for another video. No, some tank action.
maybe.
Okay. So what's next for you? Is there any other projects you're looking to work on?
Well, I just want to say this right now. This video right here is a prequel to my series that I am currently working on. I am actually, when I get back from where I am going to start production on Red Episode 1, which basically takes place 4 months after this video.
I see.
In
that
this
you
particular
haven't
timeline,
started
not me.
anything else in that video yet, no?
No.
No. Okay, so this is like the beginning.
Yes, this is the beginning to what happened.
I see. That's great. So you're gonna start. That's your Red series. Is what you're working on next.
Yes, this is pretty much a prequel explaining who Jackson somewhat is in a semblance, but they will explain more to who he really is, who his family is, who Sparky is, and to the people he worked with.
I see. So when do you think we could expect a video like this? Is it too early to say?
It's really too early to say because Red kind of had some reworks redone, and I wanted to rework the script. So I actually got the script finished. So I'm waiting for the voice actors to get their lines done, so that way I can start on the animation. I did get like a few of them.
Okay. Well, how long do you think these videos are? Are they going to be as long as the robot?
Probably they are. Knowing that these particular episodes are going to be somewhat of a story, then they are going to be very long.
Yeah, of course, the problem with long videos is that there's long periods where you're not uploading. But do you think fillers are probably going to happen, would you say?
Probably not, because most of the other videos I do is gaming besides animation. I do different types of videos, so
right. But still, it's a bit of content in the meantime.
Yeah, I guess you could say that the gaming videos are going to be somewhat filler.
That's great. Right. I think we've kind of reached the end here, Shadow. But anything else you'd like to say?
The one thing I do want to say I am sorry for the cutoff at the tank scene. I am so sorry.
Don't worry,
I did
it
want to
happens.
say what it was originally going to be. It was supposed to be Jackson doing a JoJo reference, and unfortunately, it didn't go as planned.
I was just
Oh,
wondering,
well.
like, would there be other workarounds? Like maybe just like an anticlimax of some sort, like just literally like a one punch of sort. Just for
Yeah,
comedy.
what it was supposed to be, it was gonna like show the tank's health bar at the top. He was gonna be looking through his headset. The tank's health bar was like really low, and one punch would have definitely destroyed it.
Because I was thinking of something like not a comparison, but something like Red versus Blue, where Tucker, like season 15. I know not as many people have seen that, but like near the season finale, where just Tucker's trying to punch the tank, and like it eventually works. And I was thinking something like that. Yeah, just like Jack trying to constantly punch the tank as it's slowly making its way towards the bomb area. I forgot what it's called. Either way, I just thought like it's kind of like cutting corners as opposed to outright just stating, "Hey, I lost interest. Sorry about that." Like, just try and mask it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like my only suggestion for that kind of part.
Yeah. The video itself actually had to be rushed at the end because I actually had to go to my sister's who lives up here in Indiana, and I had to get it done before I had to leave. So that's pretty much why the ending was rushed.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
I know a lot of people weren't happy about that, and I apologize.
No, I just see like a few missed opportunities for like I don't know, just sneak some kind of joke in there, because that's usually what you do when all else fails and you don't really have much time to finish it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much, Shadow On. Everyone listening, make sure you subscribe to his channel. That's Mr. The Shadow On YouTube. I'm correct in that, aren't I?
I believe so.
The S is not capitalized. I don't know why that people are just capitalizing the S in my name.
Well, it kind of makes sense after a the. But anyways, doesn't matter.
Maybe it's just a really weird name that we don't know about.
But anyways, thanks very much. We're going to move on to Ginger Ninja now. How are you doing?
Fine for the most part. It's first podcast, so I'm kind of like, this whole experience is really alien to me, but I'll do my best to try and explain any questions.
Don't worry, just act natural.
Of course.
So, well, I wanted to get you on it because, holy man, that your videos are very smooth.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
It took a while to get there, of course, because like I don't know, I'd like I look at all the animations I've done like in a playlist, and I'd say only like a select few recent ones are smooth, but that's mainly because I take my sweet time with a lot of my stuff.
See, but still, I didn't really know who you were, and then you popped up, and you've got loads of great videos already. I was like, wow, how have I not heard of him?
Probably because I didn't get involved with the community until very recently, probably.
Fair enough, but even at that, like the community's kind of small.
Yeah,
as
indeed.
it is. But yeah, you do a lot of like really cool action flicks with a lot of like smooth movements and cameras.
Cameras, okay. Like I tend to focus a lot more on cameras, mainly because it's a bit of a lazy habit of mine, where moving the camera can save a lot of time with animation. Specifically with what you call it? Was it Hardware Store? Where I had to do a lot of that in the last 3 days. So basically, you get Scout looking out into the sun with his arms out, and he's not moving at all. He's like completely stationary, not even an idle animation. But moving the camera kind of masks that. So like over time, I kind of, I guess it's kind of like a backup technique in case I can't animate characters due to some sort of time constraint, which is rare, but it can happen.
I think the first video I watched of you was from the Scout is Delicious collab. The demo was drunk. And I was like, who the hell is this guy and how do I meet him? the camera movement and just the setting of the video was actually really, really good. Just when you set like a atmosphere, like a very, very deceptive atmosphere for a video. That's how you know you're gonna meet someone really good and someone who has a lot of time on their hands.
On the contrary, I actually had only a week to make that because I was doing a lot of university work, which turned out just as good, but still. The map and everything, I kind of just found something that, hey, like this is a bar. It's got a like spooky atmosphere. I'm gonna use some sort of like Rayman 2 music in there, and I'm gonna make Demo Man. Like Demo Man kind of walks like a zombie when he's drunk, so like I made these connections and just like put them all together like in a week, and that's it. Like editing and everything as well.
Yeah, compliments all around. What's your plans for future projects?
Future projects, I want to actually take my time for starters because a lot of my projects have been rushed, like stuff like beams. I feel like I could have made that way better if I didn't rush it because a lot of the animation could have been a lot more refined. Also, like I guess the fact that back in the beams trailer, I didn't have nearly as much experience animating and so on. But I'm just trying to plan something with a little more story that's less like a skit, but like more just like a concise short story, much of like what the robot is. But also like just with my own spin on it, like maybe give it some atmosphere, like smooth animations. I'm trying to look into more and more fight scenes, and I've been trying to do video referencing for that, which is difficult because I don't exactly know that many fighting moves myself, but you know.
I just suggest like taking a martial arts class. It doesn't matter what form, just take one. Because martial arts
watching
is really,
videos of it
really
works.
fun to learn, but you also know it comes with a price that you could potentially kill someone.
Well, I guess. Then as yourself, where
knowledge.
like I don't know, you might strain a foot if you don't stretch properly.
Strain a foot, break a leg, sever your spinal cord. Yeah, I knew what I signed up for when I took it. So,
oh my!
If I
I took
may,
Taekwondo for like years, and yeah.
if I may say something about that real quick, I do believe learning anatomy is actually very important for animating. Just knowing how to get limb A to like point B is extremely important, at least in my.
It's very true. Having references,
I agree.
even if it's just in your head, or like trying to move yourself in front of the mirror,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference in how you look at things.
Record yourself walking down the street.
Well, I mean, if you want to be hardcore, then sure.
I usually just go in my back garden. Like for behind the scenes video I'm working on, I'm going to be using like some of the videos that I've used for video referencing, specifically with the animation it's involved with. But I don't know. The main reason I don't usually show them is because like I'm literally just like either swinging a sword or something like that in my back garden, where like you see windows and people could clearly see me, which in some cases people have, and they usually just go by their day or just watch with a smile because they're just finding whatever I'm doing entertaining, I guess. But a lot of the time, I really agree with Take, where just like learning the movement yourself, whether it's like you don't even have to look into a mirror or record yourself doing it. If you just do the movement and get a feel for it yourself, you can like you get a feel for the momentum and like how your joints articulate themselves and like how emphasis works and so on. And I feel like it just goes a long way in terms of how things move. But of course, like recording yourself is also a very big advantage as opposed to looking in the mirror, because you can take key poses straight out of the video and basically replicate them in video. And once you gain once you practice that enough, you can gain a better understanding of how each pose transitions to the next. And basically that's how you smooth out animations, basically.
You're not doing an animation or filmmaking degree, are you?
I'm doing a filmmaking degree, but nothing to do with animation. It's all live action.
No, well, you're still very knowledgeable.
Yeah, it's mainly because like I didn't look, I've just spent a lot of my free time just looking into behind the scenes videos, mainly in stuff like Ruby and Monty Orm and how he does things, because his rhythm and like, for those who don't know what the main appeal to Ruby was back when Monty Orm was actually at the helm before he passed away, unfortunately. A lot of people enjoyed the fact that the fight scenes had a lot of rhythm to it, because like if the fight scene doesn't have rhythm, then it's more like an actual street brawl instead of something like
entertaining.
Yeah, just something more entertaining and so on. Because like there's this whole theory that goes into it that if it's like if each hit and punch and kick is marked to a rhythm, then it makes it predictable. So you can make the movement itself unpredictable, so people will know when everything's going to happen, but they don't know what's going to happen. And that's what makes for a very interesting fight scene, because action's happening extremely fast. And basically the main factor of any fight scene is to make things less confusing, whether it would be camera work or just movement in general and sound design and so on. Basically, it's just trying to make something cool, but not going too overboard as to the point where people don't know what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just got by watching a lot, like basically watching other masters, what they do. Like something that I got from Kitty was sound design and pacing, like back at a very young age, and like the Monty Orm and fight scene animations with him, which he did on like Ruby or furthermore Red versus Blue. That was more of a recent development, and hence why from us like. When I really started doing Gmod animation, I was very into action-packed scenes because I wanted to do the things he did, basically.
See, people should never be ashamed of copying, because that's how you learn. You need to look at what other people are doing.
I didn't necessarily copy.
Well, no, it's not copying,
just,
but like you do
yeah.
need to pay attention to what other people are doing.
Well, of course. Like one thing I really feel like you should do is you should always look and take notes from what other people are doing, but never compare yourself to them, because you don't know who they are. They might have many advantages over you, and if it makes you feel inadequate, it's just not healthy. And I've seen plenty of people, like I've had people like compare themselves to me in terms of like editing or something like that, and I'm just like, please stop putting me on a pedestal. Stop trying to like put yourself down, because it's clearly not going to motivate you, and so on and so forth. And it's just, I feel like people don't know where to draw the line when it comes to taking notes, but like not comparing themselves.
I think most of the inspiration I had fighting wise was watching Baki. If any of you've seen it.
What's that?
The Netflix anime Baki. It's the martial arts anime.
Haven't seen it.
But most of the fighting is more or less interesting to me, because for one, similar to like the fighting in combat and it's on par with most of the stuff that you see IRL. So pretty much what Ginger's saying, do take notes. Don't try to copy them. Don't put the person who animates this on a pedestal, and don't bring yourself down.
Yeah, very
More
true.
or less, yes.
Who would you say are the people to look at in Gmod for fighting sequences?
Oof. The problem is like I don't think there's that many, and even when there are,
there aren't that many.
Like,
though.
pardon?
There aren't that many. You're right.
Yeah, but even when there are, they're usually very much in that own person's individual style. Like I don't know, there was that one in Mass Effect with Kitty, and of course Grindor does quite a bit. But I feel like there's like just so much you could put into an action scene. You could never take any one, but no, sorry, you could never take notes from just one animator. But for the most part, like Witchy's pretty good, because I've seen like she said she or he, I don't know, but which he seems to be.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Like, but basically, he seems to be pretty proficient at doing animations and just like just in general. Because fuck, I've like lost my train of thought.
Sanguine, Grindor, Serverlat, Mr. O. These people camouflage mentioned in the Twitch chat that are good people that are looking for combat, as well as Witchy and Lemur fought as well.
Yeah.
They're all
I think more or less with Mr. O, most of his fighting animation, like in Spice Creed.
Oh, right. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think more
yeah,
or
he's
less
kind of
Spice
that guy. He made
Creed,
that video.
animation in there.
Yeah.
People forget him sometimes.
The thing is, I feel like I just need to be more involved with like more Gmodders because there's a lot of people I don't know, but I should, and I feel really bad when I don't. As a result, because like
It's hard to find everyone. It's kind of the community's built up, but it's somehow gotten more splintered at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange, and I don't think anyone really knows what to do with it.
Honestly, it's a case of you gotta know a guy to know that person.
That's very true.
You gotta know this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy's cousin who knows the
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we're kind of banded together, and things go pretty well.
I'd say it's one of the more well-managed communities, but that's mainly because again we're not as big, so I guess that takes a lot less effort to try and manage.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you now. What out of any past projects you've worked on and created that you really like and you have good times remembering?
Probably beams, even if it's much less refined as opposed to any of my recent ones. Because stuff like Stealth is my specialty. While probably one of the most like smooth animations I've done, like it was pretty hectic at the same time because like I wasn't used to each shot taking days. Where like something like beams well actually no, beams did take equally as long, but not with the animation. The reason why, like, there's actually reasons as to why some of it was just straight from one pose to another pose, was because I didn't know what real smart motion blur was at the time, which for those who don't know is like automatic motion blur. It's like frame blend but with motion blur basically, so it just works. But I had to mask out Samus or any other character individual, like frame by frame, and then I had to put like either radial blur or Gaussian blur just for like each frame. And that's kind of why I made a lot of the animation as stiff as it was. But at the same time, I didn't know how to properly detail it, and I never tried like properly until something like Stealth is my specialty. Well, at least with characters. With cameras, I usually just used pan crop along with videos. Not pan crop in editing to give that extra shake, which is what I used for videos from there on out as well.
Because doing every single piece one by one, it's very monotonous, and you can really burn out on it.
Indeed. No, but it was fun just because, like, with action scenes again, like it's happening very fast, so I didn't have to concern myself with it. But one thing I wish I did include is more downtime, because I feel like there were one or two moments, but it wasn't as consistent. And I feel like that's one thing that should always be a thing in action scene, because if it's just constant non-stop, you kind of just like, it just gets boring after a while. But with downtime, it gives you a short break, and it's it gives a nice change of pace. It's like a roller coaster in a sense. And if the roller coaster is just going constantly up a ramp and constantly escalating, then there's like no drop. That's a weird analogy, but
No,
yeah.
I get it.
Well,
Hopefully
I
that
think
makes
that's a good
sense.
analogy. That's a good analogy for any animation, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like pacing is very difficult to get right, but I don't know. Just overall, like, I feel like the whole pacing aspect in my animations is less the animation itself and just more how I like edit, because I don't know. I just really even if it comes at the expense of something like good animation or like better quality in this shot or that shot, if it doesn't flow too well with the rest, I'll just get rid of it. And that's one thing that I feel like that any good animator should take note of, is that if a shot looks good on its own, good, but like if it doesn't go well together with the rest, then it probably shouldn't be there to begin with, because like editing is making something greater than the sum of its parts, and I very much feel like a lot of people like forget about that when trying to piece everything together, because I do realize that a lot of people see editing as a means to an end and don't enjoy it as much as I, but at the same time, I feel like people kind of negate a lot of what makes it so important.
But when people are like good at editing, it makes a big difference.
Indeed.
Like if you have smooth transitions and stuff, something you can't like just do within the program, you do get that just extra kind of cherry on top.
Yeah, I feel like as opposed to other Gmodders, I might be a lot more edit heavy.
That's not a bad thing though.
Yeah, I know, but like I feel like the fact that people are able to do what they do just in the program alone makes them I just feel like that makes them very good in their own right. And well, that's a whole different topic, but that goes back to the whole comparison thing as well. But what I mean is that a lot of the time I use stuff like soft contrast, especially in like I guess. Well, there's a lot of works in progress that I have, but which which I'm not exactly able to show yet. But the most recent example is something like the Super Source Bros collab. My entry in that contained a lot of soft contrast, and it's like it just makes everything look smoother as a result. And I've had people mistake the work for Source Filmic as a result. Like
that seems to be a recurring thing. Nice SFM dude, and it's a Gary's Mod animation.
Yeah, although Botaham, to his credit, he did put whether it was an SFM or Source Filmic. Oh, sorry, those are two of the same thing. SFM or Gary's Mod in each entry. But other than that, it's like also the camera movements. Like I can keyframe the camera, but it's also going to be very linear. Like a lot of the time, I never use like stuff like attaching it to a prop or like a cube to do a rotation shot. A lot of the time, when the camera turns, like without pan crop, it'll look a lot more stiff. But with it, like you just get that bounce, and it feels like as if it were handheld or like live action or something like that. Like it has that like feel of momentum and flow to it.
Yeah. Where did you learn about editing? Is that from your degree classes?
That's something I just kind of picked up on like over time.
Just a natural thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I know that's definitely where I fall down. Is that I don't have that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, I kind of just messed around in like Vegas or before that Premiere, or even before that, like with Windows Movie Maker when I was just trying to do like Let's Plays. Believe it or not, I don't have any.
I think we all kind of started there at one stage.
I didn't.
Well, yeah.
I started with Bionicle.
Oh, actually, no. Before any of that, I did make some like shitty stop motions. Like not even stop motions. Like I don't know if anyone's watched Jala.
No. Oh, Toa Jala. Yeah, I've seen him.
Like where basically it's like a puppet show if they just grabbed all the action figures by the legs and filmed it from the waist up, and it works way better than it has any right to do. And as a result, I just wanted to do that. I was shit at it. I was like, I didn't even have voices for that. But, you know, I was proud of it at the time. And considering what it led to, I'm glad I did it. I'm never unprivatizing those videos, though. So you're never going to see them.
Oh, well.
Aww.
But, anyways, thanks for talking to us there.
All right.
We're now going to move on to Tick. How are you doing, Tick? You've had to wait a while here.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Give me back my
That's good to know. So, Tick, what have you been doing recently in the Gmod lands?
Well, recently I've been working on a couple small personal projects just to get back into the swing of things because it's actually been quite a while since I've worked on anything.
I think you and I and Ginger even, we've all got a bit of a secret project going at the moment that we won't say any more about, but stay tuned. Stay tuned, Twitch chat. But enough of that. You're the kind of guy who has like, I've seen like your like concepts for huge lore and like big stories.
Yeah. Yeah, about a year ago now, or more than a year ago, like a year and 2 months, I think, I released a trailer for a Gmod movie I wanted to make. It was supposed to be about half an hour long or so. And the thing that kind of happens with that is after the Meet the Spy reanimated video, it was like that night that I finished it, I was like, you know, this is kind of like, I don't know, I couldn't get the motivation to do anything then. college started, and ever since then, I really haven't touched Gmod until recently. And even now, it kind of feels weird to pick it up again.
Yeah, school is like everyone's kind of that age, and school is one of like the major factors of what brings people away from it.
Yeah, but beyond that, because I had a break back in winter, like I tried opening Gmod and I just kind of sat there, looked at the screen for a while, then I was like, I can't do this.
Wait, did you even open a map?
Nah, like back then, I opened my like first Gmod map back in February. Like that's how long the wait was.
Shit,
My-
man.
So
Wow.
I think it's a feeling everyone's kind of had that like I should, but I'm not going to kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I've
it
had
was
that
exactly that.
happen to me a lot.
It's almost like what I can describe a sinking feeling. It's creative burnout, I guess. Like I have all these big stories, like as you said. I can make an entire like book series of like 5 books, but and I want to turn to animations, but it's just like
I'd buy
I think
your
about
book.
how long it'll. Oh, well, thank you. But like I really want to turn these into videos. I want people to be like, "Holy shit, that was good!" But it's something in me is like, oh, you know how long this is gonna take? This is gonna take you like a fucking year to animate. And I'm like, oh shit, that's way too long.
So it kind of has to be a little by little thing,
Yeah.
or even as tough as that is to visualize.
I was thinking that's why I kind of wanted to do episodes, but there's a couple videos I can't do in episodes. It has to be one coherent thing. But I
You
was
could have
thinking,
some
like,
of them in episodes, and then a couple of bigger ones.
I was thinking actually, because I realized not too long ago that people are not going to get my lore. Like there's not that much of like a base that you should get. So I was thinking about just making little maybe 2-minute videos or so, kind of like the backstory of each of my characters, and then be like, this is what they are, this is what they do, and this is who like this is their
Yeah.
story.
Get a bit of character development in there.
Yeah, and then after that, like I can just slowly start working up to the movies. Like I'll start releasing all these little lore videos, and then once the movie comes out, people are like, "Oh shit, this is the big climax that I've been waiting for." Kind of.
Could it be one of those things where, wait, that thing makes sense now? That
Yeah.
kind of feeling.
Yeah,
So I love stuff like that.
like like when you're playing a game and you're like, like what is this dude doing? And like, whoa, like what's all this? At the very end of the game, it's revealed the whole like plot, and you're like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, but still, like getting there is tough, both mentally and like putting the time in.
Yeah, especially with like every couple of months, college peeking its head around the corner and be like, "Yo, you gotta work on me now."
Yeah, but like I don't know, Gmod. It's kind of like people seem to start it in like early teens kind of thing.
Yeah.
School gets in the way, and then college and life, and like it. No matter what, it just falls to the wayside because that's just how life is.
It's unfortunate, but
yeah, it's sad but true.
I have definitely I'm starting to get out of that burnout now, because I'm like, I found that once I start working on things, I kind of more and more want to work on something. And now I'm at the point where like, I want to finish this. I'm gonna go into this and I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like
even,
there's a phrase. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I feel like that goes with a phrase because like long retirement leads to sweet return. Sweet return, not sweet. But I feel like that phrase very much rings true because after a while, when you stop doing something, you start building up more and more of a nerve to like keep going once you actually do get back to it. And I feel like that's kind of like the whole premise of taking breaks and why when you burn out, like you should probably focus on something else, like entirely.
Actually, I kind of did focus on something for a while, like it wasn't Gmod, it was After Effects. I spent a lot of time learning about After Effects and stuff, like during my downtime on because like when I wanted to come back to Gmod, whenever, I guess, I wanted to have all these, cool little effects I can put in my videos and whatnot. And it kind of makes me want to make a Gmod video, so I can apply those things if that makes sense.
No,
Yeah,
that
it
does make
does.
sense. I don't know, like usually like when I meant like doing something entirely different, like I literally just I wouldn't do like even editing for that matter, because like that's just it for me. It just relates back to Gmod or like videos in general, something like that. When I'm experiencing burnout, I want to have something with a completely different premise that won't take as long. Like, because like this is mainly just for me. So if this doesn't affect other people, then that's up to you. It's fine. But like I'd try to play a game or something like that, as opposed to doing something just so that when I get back to Gmod animation, I'm more prepared, because like it's like I'm still thinking of the same thing over and over again, and I just like the main thing I need to do is take my mind off it.
I see. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
In a sense, besides editing, yeah, I was just spending a bunch of time doing whatever in games or just going outside and like making something. But I do personally believe we all have different ways of dealing with like burnouts. Like instead of, well, for me personally, I like looking for other creative things to do, like maybe drawing or something as well. I know a couple friends where they cannot touch the computer anymore and they gotta go outside and go build a shack or something.
No, but that's
I
that rings very
found
true.
during school times, it's like I don't have the time. I've got all this study and homework and whatever to do, and it's like I really want a Gmod. I've got all these ideas. I'm going to write them down and do them later. Then end of June and summer's here, and it's like, okay, that's a lot of things.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can do all that.
It's kind of okay. Like at some points before university, like during college for me, it was kind of like the opposite. But in a sense, like a lot of my Gmod videos, I'd spend like at one point I had a study schedule. Like I'd spend like the last 2 hours each day doing Gmod animations, and sure, sometimes I'd be tired, but at the end of the day, like I'd keep going at it. But at a point, it kind of came to a point where like, okay, I'll like dedicate full time to this Gmod animation for like a week and then get back to work. But because I spent all my energy and thought into that Gmod animation, I kind of did shit in some of my college work, and that kind of became a dilemma. So it's kind of like that what you had, but vice versa.
The balance is hard to find.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say the same with the robot. There was kind of a off balance and on balance, and I was trying to find at least some middle ground. So
Yeah. But I think that's all on burnout. Anything else you'd like to say, Tick?
Yeah, I actually wanted to kind of go back to the editing thing. Like,
Sure.
I forget who was talking. I think it was Ginger's thing.
Yeah.
But like I think editing is way more important in Gmod videos than people give it credit to be, because I've like had an animation I spent a long time on and I recorded, and let's say, oh, I lose the save and this is, the only recording I have. I can make it work and I can make it look good just through my like editing software. Like back then I was just using Sony Vegas, and I just slowed it down a bit, add some little like blur effects. It looked just fine.
I think editing is just important to any video, period. Unless it's a blog, unless it's like a video blog, then editing doesn't matter in that. But
Well,
it's
it
like
can
an
make it
actual
significantly
video.
better.
Well, yeah, you're just gonna have
Everything's
to cut
better with
stuff out,
editing.
but that's like minor editing. I mean, like major editing, like in Gmod videos, SFM, live action skits.
I actually
That
feel
sort
like
of thing is going to affect you in a way. Editing is very important to any sort of video.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of goes all the way back to like in general, like the art of machinima, not just with Gmod, but like making movies or videos in games. Like I don't know, like Red versus Blue. Before they had like 3D animations, they had to just like put like I remember in like the really early seasons they put like these JPEGs of someone just with the pistol equipped, so their arms would look like they're at the side of their waist, and they just put like an image of a rope around them, and it's just like little bit like those little like tidbits of editing here and there. Like of course some games require more editing than others, but I feel like in Machinima it's a very prevalent thing because just it's how you piece things together and make them greater than the sum of their parts, and pretty much you can put like it's where all the magic happens basically, and you can put a lot of style and personality into that alone.
And modern Gmod animating even is kind of born from Machinimas, so that all definitely applies.
Yeah.
And I do also think editing makes some Gmod videos that normally wouldn't be possible. Possible. Like a couple scenes I can think of is like you have like 10 different green screens going on, and then you got all these like cool effects and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like even if something's bad by itself, it can still make good material.
Exactly.
That's what YTPs are for. But I think we'll move on now. We're going to go on to our video review. The video we're reviewing today, it's a new Gmod from Aladdin Soul. It's Sunny Days at CP Sunshine. So it's a short enough video, but Aladdin Soul's been around a while, and he's a great animator, great content. He would have been involved in a lot of the freak stuff back in the day when that was a big thing.
Yeah, he created Light Collar.
He made quite a few different freaks.
But the
ones.
The one he used for this video, I actually talked to Inverted Shadow about his freak ass pancakes.
Yeah, he's the main character of this video.
Yeah, I actually asked him about how he made ass pancakes. He was like, well, I was just coming home from high school one day and I got on Gmod. I was like, you know what? I want to make a scout come out of a can.
But
the animation of the scout of ass pancakes coming out of the can. It's so freaking similar to the stop motion animation you would see in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my!
Like the original Nightmare.
Yeah.
I've seen,
but Aladdin did a really good job on it. That one bit where the hands come out and then he pops out, he just did a really good job.
Yeah, I was actually kind of amazed when I saw that. I was like, oh man, that's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be
cartoon effect.
Like just a tedium of trying to animate something like that, because like, I don't know, you'd have to animate not just a hand but like the arm and everything, and if like considering it would be all so small, like just imagining the kind of pain one would have to go through for that, like it just gives me a lot of respect for the animator.
I did have one gripe about this one video. You know how Sniper had blood on him when he was running? He had blood on him, but when he got to the first step of the stairs, the blood just disappears.
I noticed that too.
It all wiped off as he ran, obviously.
Yeah, it got wiped off. I was like, okay, is that a glitch or?
Actually, from personal experience, I've noticed like effects on models or ragdolls more specifically. Sometimes he just like vanished in the sun or something. It's.
Oh, I've had instances where it's not even just a sun; it's just the angle of the camera. Funnily enough, and it's pissed me off a lot because like sometimes I'd have like really good angles for a scene, but I wouldn't be able to use them because like whatever would just disappear.
You also know when you like resize a prop and like if its hitboxes out of view, the entire object is like disappear.
Resizing is scary for me because I've had entire scenes crash without having to save them as well.
Anaiden said in the chat, lighting from the lamps caused paint on models to disappear, sadly. So that's why the blood disappeared off Sniper. So it was just, lighting and lamp.
I thought that was just like a thing with like the flashlight from the player, but okay.
It could be a multitude of things. Gmod's not without its annoying
the lighting of the demo pan. Actually, I think that's where the lighting was, because they were showing the demo pan, and then when Sniper gets a stare to say "fuck off" to demo pan, I'm pretty sure right as Sniper walked up to the first step, it hit the light and the paint disappeared.
It's just a graphical quirk, I guess. But
well, Gmod's an old ass program, so it's bound to have things like that happened.
I do like how Sniper just kind of like goes fuck off to demo pan as he goes by.
I lost it at that part. It was like when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, he told.
Demo Pan's got to be one of my favorite characters. I don't know why. I've always just kind of liked him.
He's just an unusual character, but he kind of represents the whole trading community.
Pretty much.
Whole trading community. He's the epitome of the trading community.
Yeah, pretty much. He's got like horrible style, and he just wants to trade this stout Chaco for 2 refined.
You know, he could actually get money from that if he sells it on marketplace.tf.
True.
Now there's a video idea. Demo pan goes on trade website.
He just goes, fuck this. I'm selling this somehow.
He goes to the black market.
That's racist.
Wait, no.
How is that right? How is black market racist?
Oh. Never mind. But any other comments on the video?
Just of the animation, I feel like there's quite a few frequent pauses that last longer than they should have.
I would. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but basically, it's just something like when the scout says, "I'm going to take some bonk," and it just cuts back to the sniper. Like, I just think stuff like that kind of lacks meaning. Like, as in, his reaction doesn't really give anything onto it, and as a result, it kind of breaks the pacing up quite frequently, and I feel like it's one of the only issues really keeping me from enjoying it to the fullest, I guess.
I mean, with those sort of awkward pauses, I mean, I would add a blink to that.
Yeah,
because it's just looking like he's like Sniper staring endlessly into the void.
It's mainly just purpose with all the pauses to it, because I feel like there should be some place where there's a constant pickup of the pace, and again, it goes back to the whole roller coaster analogy, but at the same time, it's just I feel like the flow is broken way too many times, and it's the only thing keeping this being a really brilliant animation. It's good enough in its own right, but I feel like if we're looking for what could be better and so on, I feel like that's the main thing. Because it's just this whole deal with emphasis. You need the pause to be brief enough to be noticeable, but not too long to be obvious.
Right.
And I feel like that's something that Aiden Soul should probably practice a bit more.
I do agree. Pauses kind of it really does depend on what the situation is, but in this video in particular, the pauses were, like you said, out of place, and they did break the flow. But if you're gonna have pauses, I would at least make the characters look around, look at their watch or something, make it look like they're busy doing something during that small amount of downtime, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's it for our Gmod review. So we're going to move on to a couple of Twitch questions now.
Oh boy.
So first up, from Stop Motion, how do you come up with characters that represent yourself in Gmod animations? Well, Ginger, you use Raiden, don't you? Just
yeah,
for Metal
Raiden.
Gear Solid or Metal Gear Rising even?
Well, Metal Gear Rising or Solid, it doesn't matter that way. But I don't know, at the time, it's just Metal Gear Rising was something that I was very deeply into when I was 13 and started a YouTube channel. And even now, I less connect with the character and more so just with what he's from Metal Gear Rising, because it's responsible for getting me into a lot of things that I am into today, whether it be swords Metal Gear or just hack and slashes in general. So it's just something just the game resonates with me a lot more, so there's no deeper meaning to it.
Okay, well, I think the rest of us kind of use TF2 models with different hats and stuff on them.
Yeah.
The Shadow one, is there any deeper meaning to your guy?
Jackson, when I started out with him, okay, you're gonna laugh at this. He was originally just a ninja.
All right.
But I've been playing a lot of. I mainly got my inspiration for current Jackson from Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising, and Tom Clancy games. Because I actually enjoy Tom Clancy's books, his games. It's just beautifully made. So I sort of based him off Big Boss, Sam Fisher, and some of the operators from Rainbow Six. And I'm not talking about Siege. I'm talking about the old ones like Ding Chavez and Edwin Price. So yeah.
So that's what yours is based off.
Yeah, and I wanted to make him as less of a fucking edgelord because look at his fucking character. Look at my character. He looks like Edge the Spy or something.
Yeah, there's this one really good video on YouTube about how Jackie Chan does films, and I think it mentioned like to sort of like humanize him, like don't make him like godly powerful, like let him get hurt in the films. It adds a bit of humor and it like humanizes him, and it just does a lot for a character.
Yeah, I feel like that rings true with like a lot of characters. Like you get something like, I guess
You don't have your
Metal Gear
Mary
Solid.
Sue.
Yeah, like I guess Metal Gear Solid, for example, like you get Solid Snake, who's just meant to be a badass. He's not one-dimensional per se, but he's very one-track minded on the mission. Whereas you get Big Boss, and he's got a lot more character to him. Like I don't know, in the first scene, you see him like look at the beehive, and he just has that like small grin on his face. Like you see, this guy's got like a sense of humor, unlike Snake or Solid Snake, I mean.
Yeah,
and
Well,
that
he's a
rings
clone,
true with
so.
a lot of other characters.
How about you, Tick? What is your character based on? You have like a Spy Soul cosmetic set.
Well, let me just preface this by saying my character was accidentally made, like completely by mistake, because I just made a video called Showstopper, and I was like, I kind of like these cosmetics, and I just ran with it.
So from there, it kind of came to represent you.
Yeah,
How do you accidentally make a character?
I don't know.
Well, he made a character, and it accidentally became a representation of him.
Yeah, essentially, but not recently, maybe about, it's probably been 2 years now. I've been making several different characters. I've kind of expanded like each part of like what I want to do. I put into a character. Like my character now is like this big businessman. Then I have this other person who like ventures out in space, and I got like this dude who's a cowboy with a really cool like gun and stuff like that. I just kind of fragment what I would want to do personally into all my characters and have them do it, kind of thing.
I know for myself, the like cyborg engineer dude, he's no deeper meaning. Although my first hat was the Tin 1000, and from there I wanted to have like a cyborg kind of dude. And that ended up like being my favorite set of cosmetics in game, so I would just use that. But sort of like yourselves, I want to plan bigger videos. He hasn't really done anything so far, but I don't have bigger videos where he does things. As a cyborg, I'm currently projecting ideas of having him in like action roles.
He accidentally invades other videos.
Yeah.
No, because of him being cyborg. Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
It's just like with him being cyborg, I just see a lot of opportunities for him to have like abilities that would be interesting in an action context.
Yeah, I had an idea for him to like be like a collector of top secret high tech weapons, and he goes on the hunt for those from military organizations. That's my future plans idea.
He's gonna invade Area 51.
Yeah. He's gonna invade and get the BFG 9000.
He can't. My character stops time, but I have to like not dumb it down, but basically nerf it to the point where he can actually get hurt if he overuses and abuses it. So I sort of like what would happen if you stop time, but your body somehow still moves,
Pardon me.
but at a faster rate in just normal time?
I see.
We're going to move on to another question now. Butane Boss asks, for the future, do your friends and family know of your channel, and what do they think of your Gmodding? How about you, Ginger? Do they know?
My dad doesn't really get it, but my mum knows. Like she knew long before I even started Gmodding, and she's just like, okay, funny faces, that's what it's all about. Fine, I don't really give a damn about it. Do what you want. And so long as it doesn't take over my studies, but like at some points it did, which is my fault. But of course, like now I'm got more on top of things. Well, as top of things as I can be, because university's very extremely hectic and so on and so forth. But my parents are mostly fine with it, so long as it doesn't like harm me in any negative way.
How about you, Shadowon? Are they in the know?
Sadly, my mom knew before she sadly passed away. My dad
sorry to hear
knows
that.
about. Yeah, she passed away a couple of years ago. But my dad knows about it, and I try to explain Gmod animations like, huh?
It just doesn't get through to him, does it?
He doesn't understand me, guys. I think my aunt also knows about it. She likes my videos somewhat. I don't. My nana, I showed it to her, and she was like, more computer crap." She's from a different time.
How about you, Tick?
Oh, sorry.
So the funny thing is, originally it was only like my sibling, basically my sister, my father, and my mother that knew about it. Then suddenly, like my entire family, my cousins, everyone, like on this, like in this continent, knows about my videos now for some reason.
What, have you got street advertisements? Subscribe to Tick.
Yeah, it's on some
Hey
billboard.
guys, thank you for coming to our family reunion. Don't forget to subscribe to Tic Tac Frog.
But yeah, they're all they all don't mind. They all like it, especially the trailer. Like my family really liked that. They liked that I was making more story focused videos. And
Yeah, I think the random stuff people don't tend to get, which is kind of fair enough.
yeah, it's pretty fair.
But when you start to make something more coherent, then they kind of see, oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like if you make a story, sorry.
No, it's fine. But like, yeah, like when it's a story in a Gmod, it's basically like no different than like reading a book or watching a movie at that point, you know?
Yeah, you're basically making like a one-man indie film at that point.
Yeah.
Your chosen medium is Gary's mod.
Yeah, so yeah, long story short, they're supportive of it, and like my entire family and every extension of my family knows about it.
Right. Next up, Vigor asks, what's a cliche in Gmod that you hate but is still made incredibly often? Start with you, Ginger.
God.
I don't know, actually. This is going to be difficult. Can I get back to you on that?
Sure, yeah, we'll come back.
I just never thought about it.
Go ahead.
Shadowrun, what is the one thing that you don't like to see?
Oh God! Like, back in the day, I used to make characters that were super fucking overpowered, like Mary Sue, Gary Sue, overpowered.
So you don't like that now? That looking back.
God, no! I literally cringe at the shit that I wrote back in the day. I would cringe now if I saw all my stuff that I didn't delete. Jackson was super fucking overpowered. I nerfed him so badly, he was nerfed like Blackbeard in Rainbow Six Siege.
So essentially, you just really hate Mary Sue's of like any kind in Gmod.
Because that doesn't justify the Gmod.
I just don't like supremely overpowered characters that have like no backstory or just this cliche backstory. My mom died when I was a baby, and so I hated the color orange. Or the whole thing with my girlfriend died in a car accident, so that I can never feel any emotions again.
It's your typical D&D
so
rogue.
badly.
And how about you, Tick? What do you think?
Like, I think the old Gmod jokes, like the one specific one, Pooch. I don't know why it bugs like the ever living shit out of me. I hate it. Like anytime I hear it, like I just stop watching the video. I can't. It's over.
Oh,
You just
well.
have like some hint of aggression against it.
Have you had any breakthroughs on something, Ginger?
Okay, like this doesn't ring true now, but like before I even got into Gmod, like I don't know, back in like 2012, I used to really have a thing against sentence mixing. I don't know why, but it's just the fact that it sounds so emotionless, and I just really preferred the fact like I really preferred clever use of like existing lines. That like again, I now see that sentence mixing can be done right with like sexuals and all that stuff.
Sentence mixing kind of brings in that like kind of YouTube poop style of humor.
Yeah, which is something I didn't get back when I was 12, I guess. But like now, I guess I've matured and like I'm more on top of all that stuff, and I understand it better, especially being an editor and all that.
Fair enough.
Real quick, if I may interject with the sentence mixing, there's a couple dudes I know that they somehow make it sound like they mix sentences together and it sounds normal, as if like it wasn't mixed at all. I don't know.
Are these YouTubers?
Gmodders, yeah. Like there's only a very few of them, like one or two that I know of, but like they manage like the pitch or like things up or down, just like to fit the rest of the lines, and it works really.
Well, do you want to name drop these people who are very good at sentence mixing?
If I can remember them, it was kind of long ago. I can't. If I remember, I'll tell.
All right. Okay. Welcome.
Oh wait, hold on. I think I found a fairly recent one. Okay, so like whether it'd be just like anything, I don't know, anything that doesn't use like a human, like just a conceivable language, basically. If they just like have some sort of like speak some sort of gibberish, like I don't know, like
The Imagineer.
No, because like they don't have subtitles for that. But basically, like subtitles for people who don't speak coherent English. Like I don't know, I guess like the only most recent example I could think of is someone like an Inkling, or you get someone like Cappy from Mario Odyssey, or hell, even just Mario himself. Like they,
or like someone going with like Banjo-Kazooie speak.
Yeah, well, no, to be honest, that can be all right. It's just like in a game, it's not as bad because
Halo,
like
as Blake the Gambler put it.
Pardon?
The elites from Halo, as Blake the Gambler put it.
Oh yeah, okay, like that as well. But basically, it's just like when it's just them, two people standing talking, completely static, and it's just like text, and it's just it's so bloody lazy.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I just don't like. I guess I don't mind reading, but it's just when like there's nothing going on in the background, I guess. But at the same time, I guess there's not many other ways to do it, because if it distracts from the text, then it's just going to be a lot more difficult to read. But it's just I feel like there are ways you could easily work around that, like non-verbal storytelling, where it's just like no voices, no nothing. They just have to like interact via like expressions and so on. I feel like that could be a much better alternative to just using text, and because it just feels like it's just lazy.
Yeah.
Camouflage then asks, if your Sono was a TF2 freak, what would your abilities and weaknesses be? Ginger, you're kind of just riding, but would you add anything?
Oh, I don't know. Again, like I've been asked a lot of questions which I never thought I'd get, and as a result, I'm still like just very unsure of anything. So I'll get back to you on that. Sorry about that.
Shadow, and your guy kind of has powers already, so he sort of is a freak in a sense.
I'd technically be a cross between Handsome Rogue, like the freak that can stop time like Dio, and since I like ear rape so much and can handle it, probably a mix of Gay Penis.
Well, he's just such a great guy for that kind of madness.
Well, Gay Penis is the literal epitome of ear rape. So,
of course,
think
He invented the Smexual.
He's been in many Smexuals, many collabs. Like, he's an icon of ear rape.
he was in like a couple of Subpillows vids as well, like the Shell Nut videos.
Yeah. And don't forget, he is an icon to Patrick's ear rape collab.
Of course, himself and Jedin, the two of them were quite big back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how about you, Tick? Any powers to make yourself a freak?
Well, I got a lot actually for a lot of my characters. They all have powers, but for Tick, my character, his whole thing is you poke him, he has like a glass bones kind of thing going on. You poke him, he dies kind of thing. But he's really, really good at like sleight of hand and the kind of like tricks and all that. Like that's his whole thing going on.
All right, fair enough. I know for myself, as I said earlier, my guy hasn't really done anything yet, but he's definitely going to have some like robot abilities, like he can scan stuff and the likes.
Very good.
But weaknesses, though, probably more generic robot stuff like getting shut down. I don't know.
EMP blast.
Yeah, EMPs, I guess, or I don't know. Maybe getting wet. Maybe he's not waterproof with a rusty tin.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's
actually,
like an old robot.
That actually might be a good one. That he just like pours some water on him.
What if it's like a single drop from like a tap?
Well, if you put a single drop on your calculator, does it break?
Oh no, I'm just thinking of like this scene from Doctor Who where like a single drop of water will turn you into like one of these Martians creatures, but just like that in a comedic context where it's just like a single drop. He looks up and the drop just goes into his eye, and then he just like collapses.
Right, we're going to take one more question. Blake the Gambler asks, if you wanted to make an animation for any video game character of your choice, who would you choose and what would the animation be about? Ginger.
I guess from a practical standpoint, like mainly Virgil, and mainly he's just his like crusade through hell at the end, like when he fell down to hell in Devil May Cry 3. And I feel like from an action standpoint, that would be really fun to do, because just him like crusading through hell, like beating demon after demon, and like who knows like what lies down in there. And I feel like there's just a lot of room for creativity and just in general like a lot of fun stuff to be had. Just need time to come up with certain ideas, I guess.
Fair enough. Ideas are sometimes you can get lots and sometimes they're very sparse. What about you, Shadow On? If you were going to make a video right now, who would you make it about?
Well, since Blake is one of my friends, he should know. Crossover video with any of the operators from Rainbow Six Siege and some of the cast from Hyperdimension Neptunia.
And what would they do?
Basically resolve a hostage crisis.
Okay. I see. I don't know much about either of those things, but
I know JP played Hyperdimension Neptunia and then immediately stopped and refunded the game.
Wow. That says enough, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Tick? If you're not going to work on these like hyper lore videos, what are you going to make?
If I had to make a video about a video game character, you call me a nerd, but it would be Gaster from Undertale.
Okay. See, I was never a fan of Gaster. I thought that the creepypasta stuff annoyed me. But like, if anyone were to do it and do it well, it would be you.
Oh, thank you. For the video itself, I would make it a very like horror themed video, not like over the top, like, oh, this is supposed to be scary, just enough where it'd be like, this is kind of unsettling. What's going on here? And the whole video would be like all these like puzzles and messages that you kind of have to figure out, but like it'd be really like well edited, so there'd be all these like cool like effects going on and that kind of stuff.
Fair enough. I think I just got this idea after reading the question, but I'd like to make a video from Travis Touchdown, just like kind of wailing on people in suits. So it's like just to practice fighting animation, because I'd like to do a lot more fighting.
I'd watch that.
But I don't even
100%.
know if there is a model for him anywhere.
Well, there
but
was in the X and Y collab. There was a Blueberry model, which is the beam katana, like he always starts out with. But
right, is there a model for him?
no, they just used a medic because the joke was medic
Oh,
was
I
successful
remember
because they're
that
voiced
video.
by the
Oh,
same person.
Yeah, the one by Tony JCNJ. Yeah.
Yes.
He
Though
used
that might work.
custom
all the
medic
same.
model.
I kind of see him more as a scout, like a taller scout.
Yeah. No, the joke was just that they're both voiced by the same person.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yes, they
Oh.
are.
I
Also,
didn't know
funny
that.
thing is
That's
that like
interesting.
one thing that I can't get over in Metal Gear Solid 5 is that because he pretty much it's the same voice as Travis, but for Commander Miller, and the fact that he's got the sunglasses on, I just see a really angry Travis Touchdown there.
Oh, he's a great voice actor, though.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I think that's going to wrap up Gpod for this time. But thank you everyone for coming, and thank you to our guests, Ginger Ninja, Mr. the Shadow On, and Tic Tac Frog for coming.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Great.
It's been fun.
Yes, it was very delicious.
Yummy.
Delicious.
Lads, goodbye to everyone. I've been your host, Awesome Noob, and we'll leave you with that. And happy birthday to Gina World 70.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy
Goodbye.
birthday.
Happy birthday.